Let's talk about AI, because in the world of artificial intelligence, the hype train has officially left the station and we are not getting back on. Looking at insights from Stanford, Google Cloud, and Gartner, it's clear we're speeding towards 2026 as this massive turning point. So the question isn't if AI is going to change things anymore. The real question is, how are we going to measure its impact in the real world?
You know, for years, the whole story around AI was just about what's possible, right? All hype. But as the AI 2026 Trends Report puts it, that whole era is coming to a close. We're moving on. We're shifting from just, evangelizing what AI could do to actually demanding to see the receipts. The new game is all about tangible results, real value, and, you guessed it, measurable impact.
So, what does this big shift actually look like on the ground? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down into 5 key areas. We'll start with the end of the hype cycle, then meet your new AI coworker. From there, we'll zoom out to the global power struggle it's kicking off, the security arms race it's fueling, and, most importantly, what it all means for you.
Okay, first up, the end of AI hype. This is really where we see that rubber meet the road, that switch from possibility to actual profitability. The whole mindset in the business world isn't about what if anymore. It's all about the bottom line.
And you can really boil this entire shift down to one thing: the questions people are asking. A couple of years ago, every boardroom conversation was, hey, can AI even do this? It was all about proving the tech worked. But now, as Stanford and others are pointing out, the question from every executive is, what is the return on investment of our AI? See the difference? It's a huge move from just possibility to cold, hard profitability.
And listen, this isn't some far-off prediction. This is happening right now. Data from Google Cloud shows that 52%, that's more than half of companies, have already put AI agents to work. This stuff is not sitting in a lab anymore. It's becoming a fundamental piece of business infrastructure. Which, of course, brings us to our next point, your new AI coworker. This is where this whole shift gets personal, because it's completely changing how work gets done, all thanks to the rise of the AI agent. So the magic behind this is a concept called intent-based computing. Think about it. We're moving away from having to give computers super detailed step-by-step instructions. Instead, we just state our goal, our intent, and the AI agent figures out the plan and does all the steps to make it happen. Our job is evolving from doing the task to managing the agent that does the task.
So, is this new way of working actually paying off? Oh, you bet it is. An absolutely incredible 88% of the early adopters are already seeing a positive return on their investment. The business case for this is becoming pretty much undeniable.
But, and this is a really important but, this is not about replacing people. Research from Anthropic shows that while AI is helping out in about 60% of tasks, we're rarely handing over the keys completely. Full delegation, that happens less than 20% of the time. Humans are still firmly in the loop, acting as supervisors and making the strategic calls. And the impact in the real world is already just staggering. I mean, look at TELUS, where AI agents are saving 40 minutes per interaction. Or Zapier, where nearly 90% of the employees have built their own internal AI agents. And then there's Rakuten, where one agent did a complex coding task in just 7 hours, a task that would have taken a human team weeks to finish. Just think about what that does for productivity. Now, when you see a productivity leap that big, it naturally leads to our third section, the world's AI power play. Yeah, the impact of this technology goes way beyond the office. It's actually reshaping the entire global stage and kicking off a brand new kind of geopolitical race. At the very heart of this is the race for something called AI sovereignty. Experts at Stanford are pointing out that countries are scrambling to build and, more importantly, control their own AI infrastructure. Why? Well, the goal is to make sure their data, their economy, and their national security aren't dependent on another country's technology. And what's happening with nations is being mirrored inside company boardrooms. Gartner calls this trend geopatriation. It's a bit of a mouthful, but the idea is simple. To cut down on geopolitical risk, companies are literally moving their data and their cloud operations back home to local or sovereign providers. It's a strategic retreat to safer ground.
And the major world powers are all in, but they're playing totally different games. The US is pushing for pure technology leadership. China is all about autonomous control. And the EU is focused on leading through regulation. And all of them are backing their plays with tens of billions of dollars. This is the new great game, folks.
Now, whenever you get this much power and money all focused on one thing, you inevitably get risk. And that brings us to Section 4, the AI security arms race. AI is a classic double-edged sword here. It's creating incredibly powerful new defenses and, at the same time, some terrifying new threats.
On the defensive side, companies are already jumping on board. According to Google Cloud, almost half of all enterprises, 46%, are already using AI to power their security operations. They're hoping it gives them an edge against whatever is coming next.
But this just creates a constant battle, a real cat-and-mouse game. For every brilliant advance in using AI for defense, like AI that can hunt for threats before they happen, there's an equally clever advance in using AI for attacks. We're seeing things like sophisticated prompt injections, new kinds of data leaks, and even the risk of rogue AI agents going off script. It's a brand new battlefield.
So after all this disruption, in our jobs, in geopolitics, in our security, what does it all mean for you? Let's get to the final and most important section. What's your next move? It is time to turn all this insight into action.
The reports really distill it down to a clear 4-step playbook for 2026. First, invest in your people. Train them to manage agents, not just use tools. Second, build a solid foundation. You need a unified platform and really strong rules for your data. Third, and this is key, measure everything. Every single AI project needs to prove its ROI. And finally, deploy securely. Use AI to protect yourself, but be ready for those AI-specific threats we talked about.
So look, this technology isn't on the horizon anymore. It's here. It's being deployed as we speak. It's already delivering results, and it is reshaping our world. Your new AI coworker is ready to clock in. The only real question left is, are you?